Good morning, everyone.
Hello again. Well, here we are on a chilly morning. Oh, who am I kidding? It's nice and sunny out there.
But there's still snow on the ground.
Sun's reflecting off the snow. So we're going to be relating an experience in this particular video. But before we get to that, I want to get to my...
Your fortune?
My fortune, not
quote?
So much for it, but the quote on my Good Earth tea bag. This comes from a very wise puppet. Do or do not. There is no try.
Yoda.
That's from Yoda.
We love this tea.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah. Okay.
So here we are doing.
Yes. And what we want to do is we want to focus to the world.
To non-Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're tired of Jehovah's Witnesses bothering your Saturday morning lawn mowing, your Saturday morning getting ready to go out fishing.
Waking you up, early in the morning.
Yeah, because you've been out partying too much on a Friday night.
Yeah. But I just want to say that us activists, Mike and I really don't consider ourselves activists.
But I guess we are. I mean, in the truest sense of the
We've just gotten to the age to where we just like to speak out, and tell it the way it is. Yeah, Okay, so anyway, we cannot take down Watchtower Organization. And I know there's many of us, many of our friends who do these videos. We'd love
to see Watchtower go away.
Yeah, but we know that we are not going to take down this
$30 billion corporation. Who are we trying to kid?
Yeah, it's a major publishing corporation worldwide. We know we can't take them down, but
we can certainly put a stranglehold on you.
Yeah, and if we can prevent just one person from getting involved in this cult, then, we have done our job. And we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yes, because we have a little experience that we want to relate that my good buddy, the atheist, I've mentioned or referred to him a couple of times in a couple of different videos. This goes right to him directly.
Yeah, but what we're trying to do is by educating the world, you non-Jehovah Witnesses, who always have these witnesses, coming to your doors, we want to give you some trigger words that will prevent them from coming back proselytizing. Unless you like to talk to them and argue with them, that's fine. We can even give you some things to argue with them that they cannot argue back.
We'll show how that works with another experience that I had when I was very active as a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. So we've got, an experience here, and we got permission from Mike's good friend.
Yeah, we'll just initialize them GP. Okay. It's about 6 years ago I got acquainted with GP at one of my historical events.
And he's become a very good friend.
Yeah, we've struck up a really good... Yeah, hello, if you happen to see this. I don't know
I'm
if
sure
you
they
will or
will.
not.
I'm going to send it to him.
Oh, okay. So anyhow, this friendship between him and I developed, and it's become very strong. I mean, I feel very strongly about this man. His heart is very kind, very generous, very giving. In fact, in a video we had done a while ago, I had mentioned, or Kim had mentioned, that we lost both our vehicles in one day due to the timing chain, the timing belt breaking. It was this atheist that actually came to our aid and let us use one of his vehicles for however long we needed it. So anyhow, as this relationship, this friendship developed, I tried to witness to him, and he let me know that he was an atheist, and we've had some pretty good discussions for atheism, for Christianity, but the thing is they've never became heated. They never became argumentative. It was done out of total respect for each other's beliefs or non-beliefs. So anyhow, as this relationship developed, he starts telling me that, man, the Jehovah's Witnesses just keep coming to my house. I can't get them to stop. I've asked them politely. I'm not interested.
For some reason,
they just keep coming back. Oh, I know what it is.
I think it's because GP has a very kind heart, and he's very polite to people, very nice and sincere, and he smiles.
He does not want to offend anybody.
So, as you know, trained as one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, you can go back on a smile.
Even if you get a really nice person to talk to and a nice smile, you go back to them. Because you never know. So witnesses show up at his house all the time.
All the time. So one day we're having another conversation, and I says, you know what, GP? you want to stop these Jehovah's Witnesses from ever coming back again? He says, yeah. He says, because they always come at the most inopportune time. You know, hell, you could be in a grocery store buying beer and there's somebody with a tract in their pocket telling you that buying beer is wrong or whatever. It just always seems to be at the most inopportune time. Hey, I'm getting ready to go fishing. I ain't got time to read the Watchtower. See?
Was that a little bit of a
That was a
future
mock.
video?
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's going to
yeah.
be doing video as Bubba Householder.
You Bubba Householder. So, anyhow.
Oh, did I just give away a secret?
Well, yeah. There again.
Sorry.
That's okay. Anyhow, getting back to the story, I told my buddy, I says, this is what you do. The next time Jehovah's Witnesses come around, you need to use a trigger word. Huh? What do you mean? He says, when they come around, you know, be nice. There's no need to be throwing hate out there
Or being ugly.
There's no need for that. But you can do it in a way so that they will get the message. And here it is. I told them next time they come around, listen to what they have to say and then just politely tell them you're not interested. Somehow or another, they're going to interpret that as, oh, can I come back later? Well,
they're going to keep on.
That's just what this brother did. Well, I see you're not interested today. Perhaps some other time. And my buddy says, no, you're not understanding me. I'm never going to be interested. Then he goes, in fact, my friend is an apostate. And he told me how all of this is going to work. He says, you go back in your car, you take down my name, put a little check by my name, and don't ever call me again. There's the trigger word, the apostate, because my friend, GP, said that as soon as I said the word apostate, he said the man didn't get ugly, but he became very uncomfortable, and his face,
his whole demeanor
changed. His face flushed. That's the trigger word. They are so afraid of the word apostates that it will change their demeanor. And my friend had to acknowledge that to me. He says, you were right. He says, that man changed the minute I said apostate friend.
See, and the minute you say that to a Jehovah Witness, you might as well say, my best friend is the devil himself.
The devil himself. Yeah, you see little horns.
You know, because that's how they view ones who have left the organization, and especially ones who are a threat, like all of us who do these YouTube videos. We are a threat because we are speaking out, you know, about this organization. So the minute you say apostate, you know, my best friend is an apostate. Oh, good Lord, you can't get out. They can't get out of there fast enough.
Just tell them, put me on your do not call list. If we have enough people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses that start responding to Jehovah's Witnesses this way, guess what? Their territory cards are going to start shrinking. They're going to get smaller and smaller because if you've got more do not calls on the back of a territory card as opposed to your return visit list, you're slowly but surely taking their reason for them going out door to door.
Yeah.
So learn a few trigger words. Now let me show you another example here. This happened to me. Did you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, because you know darn well this brother is going to go back, and our friend GP happens to live in our ex-congregation's territory. So we know it was someone from our
congregation. Exactly.
So you know darn well they're going to run back to the elders and, oh, I ran across a householder today, you know, that said his best friend was an apostate. Well, I think we're the only ones in the congregation, you know, so.
So anyhow, let me relate a personal experience.
Here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, here we are. It's acknowledged worldwide, and you can quote me on that too. But anyhow, a few years ago, when I was very strong, in fact, I think I was a ministerial servant and a regular pioneer at the time.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I was coming back from someplace, and I had seen that there was two Mormon elders walking up the street. And I get out of my vehicle, and I approached them, and it was very nice, very kind. And I says, I would love for you two men to come into my house, and we'll sit down and talk about the Bible. I said, but the Book of Mormon has to stay outside. I said, are you up to the challenge? No, maybe we can come back another day. You see, for them, their trigger word was leave the Book of Mormon outside. They can't do it. So now when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, if they come knocking at your door and you do want to engage a Jehovah's Witness, this is what you say. Say, I would love to have you come in my house. We'll sit down and talk about the Bible. but your reasoning book stays outside. More than likely, they're not going to take you up on that challenge because they cannot defend the truth without the reasoning book, especially if you're already pre-armed on the subject of the cross in the Imperial Bible Dictionary.
Which their reasoning book quotes from.
It quotes from with a lot of ... So they actually leave out some of that information. So if you can learn how to identify certain phrases, trigger words like apostates, or you can come in and talk about the Bible, but your reasoning book stays outside, chances are they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. In fact, in the years that I pioneered in the congregation we was in, many, many times I spent the day in service by myself. And it even got to the point to where I was going to the door, introducing myself, and I would actually say, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and if there was ever any question that you ever wanted to ask a Jehovah Witness personally, I will answer that for you from the Bible.
That takes cojones.
And I'll tell you what.
Witnesses won't do that now.
I'll tell you what. I had a lot of good return visits just based on that alone. You can ask me as a Jehovah Witness anything you want. And guess what? That reasoning book stayed in my book bag. That's how I learned that little trick with the Mormons. Yeah. See, they can't do it without the Book of Mormons, just like a Jehovah Witness can't do it without the reasoning book.
Well, speaking of the Mormons, brings me up of an experience our daughter had when she was first coming out of the organization last year.
This is
and I'm not picking on Mormons.
No.
If you want to believe, whatever you want to believe, that is fine. But this just shows that they have the same mindset that witnesses do. Some nice young elder.
Shyla actually requested to get a Book of Mormon from them, right? That's what
just like witnesses, they show up in person to hand deliver this book and talk to you.
3 Mormon elders.
Yeah.
That's my daughter, people. Listen to this story.
Yeah. So she's talking to these Mormons, and the Mormons, I don't know too much about their religion, but they do believe that they have modern day prophets, just like the prophets of old in the Bible. And of course, their Joseph Smith, who started this organization, was a prophet also, and he got the Book of Mormon directly, from God or Angel Mordecai. Like I said, I don't know too much about this religion, but we did know, since her best friend at the time was a Mormon, we did know that they do have modern day prophets, and these prophets travel around, and prophesy and all of this. So Shyla invited them in, and they sat down and, started this nice discussion. She says, I have a question for you. And she told him, she was an ex-Jehovah Witness, just leaving the organization.
Leaving the organization.
And of course, they want to get their hooks in you, new convert. She asked him, she says, you believe in modern day prophets and you have several in your religion, right? And they agreed. She says, I have a question. She says, do you believe in Jesus Christ? Oh, yes, of course. Do you believe that he came to earth and died, on the cross for us? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you believe that he was a prophet? Oh, yeah. Greatest prophet. Greatest prophet. She says, okay, I have a question. If Jesus Christ was the greatest prophet and the world killed him and he was God's son, what prophet do you need beyond that? If they killed God's son for being the greatest prophet that was ever on this earth, then why would you need prophets today when they killed the greatest prophet back then? They could not answer that. Could not answer that.
That's the point. In Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, the law and the prophets came to their end. There's no prophet that any religion could ever raise greater than Christ. So why would you need another prophet?
We don't need anything besides him, and the Christian, the New Testament, that part, it's the whole thing is about believing in Christ, and that's all we need.
So anyhow, I want to just kind of wrap this up here. We didn't want this to be a long one. While I was on the phone with my atheist friend, GP, I asked him the same question that I've asked members of other religions. I said, GP, you being an atheist, let me ask you this question. If Christ came down today and said, GP, I want you to be my follower. All you have to do is believe in me. I asked him, would you follow him? He said, I wouldn't have a choice but to follow him because he proved unequivocally who he was.
Well, you forgot the part that where he did, Christ would come down and, miracles and prove to him who he was.
Proof.
It's a given, but you didn't mention
Well, that's the same proof that Thomas was asking for.
If Christ came to earth,
show me the nail holes.
And was able to do the same miracles that he did back then.
Would you follow him? And in this atheist said, yes, I would.
But he's been doing this study now for several years, and everybody he's asked. But, we keep saying a gung-ho Jehovah Witness, let me go ask my governing body.
I got to see it in a watchtower. There again, that's, I know the mindset because I used to think just that way. Yeah. Well, I got to wait for this to appear in a watchtower first.
Now, do we want to mention the person that was leaving comments? They made a comment and said we were apostates and, Satan himself and our mind has been taken by Satan. Yeah, horns. And I asked him, did you even go look at the research?
We want to quote what he said back. This is the typical mindset of a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to print up his exact comment. Well, I didn't want to read it word for word because
we don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. But anyway, this person said, I don't have to. I know the truth. We would have said the same thing.
He also says, I don't need you telling me what to do. Fine, whatever. But hey, it's all in print. But the amazing thing was the response after that. Not
I was going to say, if you're a Jehovah Witness and you're afraid to go look at this reference material that we have in these videos, that alone should put up a red flag. If you're so fearful to go look at this stuff yourself, most of this is right from Watchtower literature itself. We are not changing the wording. When I read, it is straight from the article itself.
So what was unique about this person's comment is that, over the past year, Kim and I have begun being acquainted with some Jehovah's Witnesses that are leaving the truth. Some of those that are starting to wake up. There was several people that went right after this gung-ho witness and just pretty much ripped him a new one.
Oh, they were pit bulls.
That's all I can say. They pretty much ripped him a new one.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Because it's working. It's working. The activism through YouTube is working. I don't know. It's because you can see the person's face, their personality. I don't know. But it seems to be working. And God bless everybody that is going to be able to see it and leave Watchtower because it's not a good environment.
Like I said, if we can just prevent one person, we know we can't get the Jehovah's Witnesses out of the organization.
We can't bring down Watchtower. We can't bring it down.
But, if we can prevent just one person from having to deal with the curse of having this Watchtower.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can take the person out of Watchtower, but you can never take the Watchtower out of the person. So really, like Kim says, it actually becomes a curse for us. Yeah. We will take this curse to our graves. So if we can prevent one person from inheriting this curse or experiencing this curse, then we will have fulfilled our mission.
Yes.
Because it is a curse. Watchtower will never leave your minds. It never will.
Yep. And you're always going to have that little niggling thing in there.
Yep.
You can't ever get rid of it.
So anyhow, what Kim and I have done, as you can tell through these videos, we've taken this curse and we've turned it into a festive thing.
We've taken lemons and made lemonade.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, maybe we should let these good folks get on with their day. And thanks for watching.